Hello, welcome to the Lone Show. I'm your host, John Malone. In this episode, don't have any regulars, because reasons, as always, obviously. As for our guest, he's from Chicago, Illinois. He's a singer and songwriter, and loads more. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you John McDonough.
Hi, how are y'all?
Fabulous.
Great.
So, how's life?
Life is good. Life is very good. I'm enjoying the warmer temperatures of Chicago. Summer is here. So, lots of people outside having fun after a long winter. So, it's great.
Nice. Have you been up to much recently?
I've been working hard on my music. I've been playing lots of gigs, and that's been my main focus. I've been playing a lot of pickleball. Do you know what that is?
I've never heard of it in my life.
It's only where are you from? Are you in the Netherlands right now?
No, I'm currently in Manchester in United Kingdom.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So it's something that's big in the States, and it's a game that's sort of taken over the United States the last few years. And if you took tennis and badminton and pickleball, I mean tennis, badminton, and ping pong, and mixed them all together, you end up with pickleball. So if that gives you an idea, and so it's a blast, and I've been having a lot of fun playing
Ah, interesting.
it. So how is life in England right now?
Life's going great. The temperatures are certainly on the rise. In fact, I feel a bit sweaty right now, but it could be worse to be honest. I could be in Brazil where the temperatures are much higher and it's way more consistent year round. Yeah,
Yes. Yep, that's very true. Very true.
in fact, I could be going there very soon, but I'm not sure about dates, so there's yet more to come, so on and so forth.
Well, that sounds awesome. I've never been, so that would be a fun trip.
Oh yes, it sure will. So, what inspired you to become a music artist?
I always loved to sing, even as I mean, as a very young child, I would always sing, and I remember I would crank my stereo in my bedroom and sing along and pretend I was on stage, and so then I got sort of tired of that, so I decided I wanted to be able to accompany myself and not have to sing along to the radio. So I started taking guitar lessons, and I also always loved creative writing. Even as a kid, I would write short stories and things like this, and so when I got a little bit older, it was just a perfect combination that I could do my creative writing with songwriting, and I could sing, and so that's what really inspired me to get into it.
All right then, very good. And what was life for you growing up?
It was interesting. I mean, it was good. It was a little bit difficult. I had to move around a lot, so I went. I never lived in any place for too long. Moved around all over the United States, and so it made it a little bit tough. Always having to sort of make new friends and leave the friends that I made. But I have a big family with five siblings, so there was never a dull moment. And sports was a big part of growing up. I played a lot of tennis, and so yeah, so that's what it was.
Hmm, intriguing. If you were given 300 acres of land, what would you use it for?
Oh, that's a great question. Um, well, I have to say, I do like my privacy. So if I had 300 acres of land, I might build a house on it, and with lots of land all around me, so no one I don't see or hear my neighbors. Um, and then I would like to build uh, two or three other houses for friends and family that could be welcome anytime. They could just come stay and they could have their own place and come stay with me whenever they wanted for as long as they wanted, and that would be really fun. And I would have a pool and a pickleball court. and and with all that, I would be very happy. Oh, and a couple horses. I love horses, so throw a few horses in there too.
Nice.
Yeah. I know the right answer probably would be like to give the land away to the needy or something like that. So that might have not been like the best answer, but that's the most honest answer I can come up with.
I'd take anything really. I would have used the land and built a whole new city, and maybe have a balance between multiple businesses on the lower floors, and then a couple of offices and homes on the upper floors. And yeah, it could be like its own country, but yet it's a city.
Yeah, that would be good too.
Yeah, like a city state,
Right.
sort of. Yeah.
Yeah. And you would be like the president or the king of this city state.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. What's the best way to start the morning?
I like to start the morning by laying in bed for about 30 minutes after I wake up. I know people are, like they love to meditate in the morning and things like this. And I don't know, that's sort of my form of meditation when I wake up and I'm half asleep and half awake, but I just lay in bed for about 30 minutes and I think about things and think about what I want to do for the day. And, and then I get up and then I have a Diet Pepsi. And first thing I do when I wake up, first I always have a Diet Pepsi. So that's for me the perfect way to start the morning.
Fabulous. Very good. And this is a question from the top of my head.
All right.
Have you heard of a drink called banana friche?
No, I have not.
I get that a lot.
Is that a English drink?
Actually, it's not a thing ever, anywhere. It's something I made up.
It's just something you had. Well, now I'm curious though. I want to. A banana? What was the second word?
Friche.
Friche. Well, you need to make this drink so I can try it.
All right then. Very good.
You need to create it. Yes.
Yes. Craft it as my own.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. What
And it'll be the signature drink of your city state.
Oh yes. That's intriguing. I like that.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. What stats for your life would you most like to see?
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
What stats for your life would you most like to see?
What stats would I like to see? Boy, life is pretty good right now. So the biggest thing that I would change for stats that I would like to see is I would really like to sell more music. So, and I say that not for the money, but because my goal is to perform for people in very like intimate settings, like small theaters, things like that, where people really come to hear me and listen, and I can tell my stories about the songs and talk about myself. And so if I could sell more music, then I could have access to playing more shows like this in small theaters. So that would be my first choice.
All right then.
And I'm sure after this podcast, my numbers are going to take off. So then I'll be able to thank you for this. Yes.
Fabulous. If you have your own late night talk show, who do you invite on as your first guest?
Oh my gosh, another great question. Well, let me think. I have to think about this because there's so many. I'm a big sports fan, and obviously I'm a huge music fan. So there's just such a wide variety of people I would like to talk with.
The options are endless.
The options are really endless. This is true. Um, I'm like I said, I grew up playing tennis and played tennis for a lot of my adult life. I'm a huge Roger Federer fan. I would love to be able to sit down and talk with him for an hour. So he would be one. Another one that I would love to talk with. I love Billy Joel. I love his music. I think he's very funny and very engaging. And I've always thought it would be a blast to sit down and talk with him for an hour. So it might be one of those two.
Ah,
But like you said, if I thought about this for an hour, I'd probably have a list of 200 people I could ask.
mm, that's pretty much more than enough to keep the show running for the next few years.
There you go. That's exactly right.
Yes, incredible. How much time do you spend on the internet?
Too much. Too much.
Same.
I don't even know, but it would be probably. I mean, I I spend a fair amount of time on the internet being productive, using it to help, with my music, things like this. So I don't feel bad about that. But I probably spend about an hour a day just playing around on the internet. That is sort of a waste of time. I don't know if that's a lot or a little. It seems like it's a lot. So
To be honest,
uh,
I wouldn't know.
you're not on the internet that much.
Well, yes, I'm on the internet often, but I don't know how much is too much and how much is not
Uh,
too much.
gotcha. I always feel like I could be more productive if I should get off of it when I'm just like surfing websites and just like reading things and I always feel like I should be doing something more productive. But yeah, so maybe a half hour would be okay. I probably spend, like I said, more like an hour doing stuff like that.
Hmm, intriguing. What is your favorite quote?
Oh my gosh, you're really coming at me hard here with good questions. My favorite quote. Um, oh my gosh, I have to think about this for a second. And I know this does not make good silence does not make good airtime, so I'm trying to come up with something, but I'm sort of drawing a blank here. So, well, here's one that I've always liked, and it's not by a famous person or anything, but I've always stuck with it. So, I have a very good friend. I lived in Austin, Texas, for 25 years, and I moved to Chicago a couple years ago. But in Texas, I have a very good friend who's also a musician, and we were talking one day about how hard it is being a musician these days because there's so much competition and the internet um, and we were talking about just like how do we make this work, and we were talking about, do you spend your time recording or performing live or making music videos or doing live streams and just so much stuff to do, and what do we focus on? And he said to me, he said, you have to do it all and do it all the time. And that was, I thought, just such a really good quote because it's true. You do have to do it if you're going to be successful, not just in music, but really anything. You have to do it all, and you have to do it all the time. And that's a quote that is just really stuck with me and sort of motivates me when I start feeling a little burned out or lazy.
All right then. What kind of music do you often listen to?
This is going to be the cliche answer. Well, actually, no, it's not going to be. The music I most often listen to is the 70s sort of singer-songwriter soft rock. There's all the people like sort of like I listen to James Taylor and um, Billy Joel and those classics from the 70s, Harry Chapin. Um, and some rock too, like the Rolling Stones and the Beatles, and um, but it's those sort of classic singer songwriters, Carole King. Those are the people that I grew up with, and those are the people that I still enjoy listening to.
Fabulous. If you could create your own job title, what would it be?
Well, I would say it's sort of what it is. I'm very, I love music. There's really nothing else I'd rather be doing. I call myself a singer-songwriter, and there's nothing more than I love than writing and performing. So I would give myself the title that I do give myself, which is singer-songwriter.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you rather not be able to open any closed doors or not be able to close any open doors?
I'd rather not be able to close any open doors. I'd like to see what's behind the door.
I agree. There's always opportunities open for you.
That's right.
Bada boom, bada bing. Would you rather have extra fingers or extra toes?
I'd rather have extra fingers because then I could, when I play the guitar or when I play the piano, those extra fingers would come in really handy. So yeah, I saw a movie once many years ago, and it was about the future and how sort of, people evolved in ways that were conducive to like their goals. And for example, there was a famous pianist who had 12 fingers, and this just obviously enabled him to do more on the piano than a person with 10. So yeah, I would like to have extra fingers for sure.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yes. How about you? Which would you rather have?
Well, I would go with extra toes because in the event of someone chasing after me for whatever particular reason, I could just use my extra toes and swim quickly from the back end and, yeah, get away scot-free.
Well, there
you go. And the rest is history.
There you go. It would come in handy there for sure.
Oh, yes, absolutely. If someone wrote a book about you, what do you think its title would be?
I would like it to be something really optimistic and inspiring, but the truth is, it would be something like, I don't know. I really don't know what it would be. I like to think of myself as funny. I know people tell me I'm loud all the time. So I don't think of myself as being loud, but apparently I am. And gosh, I just have no idea. That is too hard to come up with right now. A title of a book for me. I don't know. I'd have to think about that one for a little bit.
All right, then. That's good.
That's a tough one. That's really tough.
Yes. Intriguing. What could you give a 40-minute presentation on without any preparation?
You know what? I could give it on the American civil rights. And because I've become very, very interested in the civil rights movement of the 60s, of the 50s and the 60s in America. And I have a little RV I like to travel around in, and I just did a trip where I went and saw the major sites of the civil rights movement in Mississippi and Alabama and Tennessee. And I was gone for about 11 days and saw like 17 different museums and 17 sites where the biggest things happened. So I could talk about that for 40 minutes without any problem.
Okay, very good. What's the most useless talent you have?
The most useless talent I have. I don't know. I'm trying to think of. I don't think I have that many talents to start with, and I like to think that the talents I have are not useless. So, I don't know. I honestly can't think of anything. Sorry about that.
That's all right. We have those days.
Yes.
Would you rather be really hot or really cold?
I'd rather be really hot because it's you can always take things off to cool yourself down.
Oh, yes.
And I've always enjoyed the warm weather more than cold weather. So I'd have to say I'd rather be hot.
Yeah, I agree. In fact, the hot weather is a lot more positive and uplifting than the cold weather.
Exactly.
So it's just logic there. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
uh let's see here. If anywhere in the world, where would I be? I think I'd have to pick. I mean, again, this is so hard, but my first thought was I was thinking weather, and I was thinking a place where it's sunny and not too hot and not too cold. And I thought of San Diego because in San Diego, I could have a beautiful beach house, and the weather there is always pretty consistent, not too hot, not too cold. And so I might have to say San Diego.
Oh, yes.
If I had
That's,
a lot, if I had a lot of money and I could live on a beautiful house right on the beach, that would be pretty ideal.
yep, absolutely. What is an app you hate so much, but you still use it anyway?
uh, well, let's see. I would have to say, no, I don't hate it. I like Instagram. I hate it because I waste a lot of time on it. But I it sort of can. I'd have to say Instagram. I love it. I mean, but I hate it because it sort of can suck you in, and next thing you know, you're looking at all these. It just takes you down a rabbit hole, and you're looking at God knows what. And I do use it a lot. So because I was trying to think of other apps that I use that I hate but I use them anyway, and there's really not that many. Um, so I might have to go with Instagram, but it's a love-hate relationship.
Yes, I've been there many times. Do you like spicy food?
Oh God, no, no. I don't know why it must have been the way I was born because I cannot handle spicy food at all. And and then I'll ask them, I'll be like, is this spicy? And they're like, oh, no, no, it's not spicy at all. And then I'll try it. And for me, it'll be really spicy. So no, I do not like spicy food and I cannot handle spicy food.
Okay, fair enough. How did you spend your last birthday?
It was pretty mellow, actually. I was here in Chicago, and part of my family who I normally spend it with they were on a trip, so they were out of town. So I spent it with my mom and my sister, and and we just had dinner and a small party. It was actually very mellow. When the rest of my family got back into town from their trip, then things picked up and we had more of a party type atmosphere for my birthday. But on my actual birthday this year, it was just a normal day except for cake and a few presents with my mom and my sister. Of course, I'm getting older, so these are the types of birthdays that I prefer at this point.
Ah, all right then. Klausenspiegen. Have you heard of that?
Say it again.
Klausenspiegen.
No, I've not. Don't
Well,
tell
neither
me
did.
this is another thing you've just made up.
Yes, right now. Yeah, I'm
Well,
so
that
random.
explains why I haven't heard of it.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
Oh yes.
When we try the drink you're going to create,
Yes.
then we will talk about whatever this is.
Yes, absolutely. If you could slow down time, what would you do with that power?
I would love to slow down time for a couple reasons, but the main one I think is I have a niece who's 12 years old who I'm very close with, and she is growing up so fast, And I really, miss the days when she was 3 years old and 4 years old, and now she's already 12. And then I know that before I know it, she's going to be 21. So I would like to slow down time so I could have more time with her as a kid that she is now.
That's nice. What is the best way to travel?
Private plane.
Ah, very good.
That is, as everyone in the world knows, flying has gotten, flying is not as fun as it used to be.
Yeah.
And I love to travel. I love going new places, but it's gotten to the point where that's partly why I have a small RV. I mean, I don't really enjoy flying anymore. It's just a drag. But boy, a couple times that I've been lucky enough to get on a private plane, that was the life. So
It sure was.
yes. So that is the way to travel. Private plane.
Oh, yes. What do you disagree with most frequently?
Well, boy, this is a lot. There are a lot, but most frequently. Well, all right. I'll say this. So, Taylor Swift, is on tour right now in America, and she just was in Chicago. She did 3 nights in a huge stadium in downtown Chicago. They were sold out. Prices for tickets were a lot, and no, everyone was talking about Taylor Swift and her being in town and doing these concerts. And I am not really a huge Taylor Swift fan. So if we're gonna talk about what I disagree with most recently, it would be everyone talking about how incredible Taylor Swift was at this concert, and I would be like, she's really not that great.
Yes.
But
So
I know
guess,
I'm not. I know that's not going to make me a popular person, but
of course,
that's how I feel.
that's never gonna fly. They don't like hearing things they don't want to hear. It's logic.
That's
We're all stuck in our own little world.
that's right. That's right.
Oh yes.
I will say Taylor Swift is. I mean, she seems like a very good person. From what I saw, I was not at the concert, but from what I saw, she puts on one hell of a show, and I give her credit for how hard she works. And so there are some positives, but just in terms of her music, I don't think she's as good as people think she is.
Yeah, a bit more overrated. Most people make her out to be.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, we get it. She's great, but she's not that great.
Right.
Music is subjective. We can like whatever music we want, but just remember, not everyone's going to agree with you.
Yes.
End of. And that is all we have for this episode. It was great having you here, John, talking about music, and music, and so much more. It's been fabulous.
Thank you for having me. It's been fun.
You're welcome. And until next time, stay tuned for more.